name is Vincent Jacobone, also known as Heathen. I'm the vocalist, guitarist, bassist, and founding member of the American black metal band Dead.
Dead is a black metal project from the USA, and its last album, Nihilism, 2017's production, is a kind of symphonic depressive black metal masterpiece, filled of desolation, grief, anger, and disdain. This album was written putting deepest depression, and slowly it was crafted the whole concept. Total and complete longing for death and disdain for the world. We are talking with Heathen, the mastermind of this project. What's the storyline of Dead? How did it all begin?
The storyline of Dead, I suppose, probably starts in my junior year of high school, drawing in my notebook and doodling a little logo. I picked up the guitar because no one around here wanted to play the kind of music I wanted to play. So I started recording early Dead demos.
Tell us please a little about personal musical inspiration and influences.
My personal musical inspirations, I'd probably say my biggest influences would draw from 90s Norwegian black metal bands, such as obviously Mayhem, Dark Throne, Emperor, but also a lot of the newer wave of DSBM and dark one-man bedroom-style black metal bands. And I kind of like to mix the two together, get a dark, symphonic sound, but also very depressing.
What is your philosophy behind your themes?
My main philosophy behind the themes tends to follow a very dark, depressing, nihilistic view on life, as that is the place I was at when I was writing the lyrics for the first album. I had just come out of a long-term relationship, rough breakup, very long breakup, and I kind of just poured all of my dark feelings and emotions into the music and into the lyrics.
Why Dead as a name for this project? You must tell us more. How did it come about?
Dead, the name of the band, is named, of course, after the front man of Mayhem, obviously before he killed himself. But he is definitely one of my favorite black metal vocalists, even if he never recorded an actual album with Mayhem. The demos that they recorded together with Dead were absolutely phenomenal, and he really kind of brought about, you know, what we see as a black metal frontman these days. You know, the corpse paint, cutting yourself on stage, all of that was him. He brought that into the black metal world.
Until year 2016, you released 3 demos and 1 single. In year 2017 was released your first full-length, Nihilism. 4 years is a long wait for your first album. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the wait on the actual release of the album came about for a couple reasons. First being that I was new to the guitar, and I was still kind of flushing out my playing style and playing in general, getting comfortable on the instrument. Dead as a band has definitely helped me explore the instrument a lot more, and was the driving force behind me wanting to be a better guitarist and focusing in on learning to write dark, depressing, aggressive black metal. And the second reason would be my complete and utter lack of knowledge at the time on production and programming, whether it be for the drums or any orchestration I wanted to add. I was very new, to the point I was programming just very simple blast beats in Guitar Pro. They were off tempo. They sounded terrible. I was recording just straight through the headphone jack on my amp into the computer. It was very raw and not in a good way. Just rough to the point where I've actually removed the demos from online because I feel like we've moved as a band to a point so much further than those early demos.
Let's shift gear a bit and talk about the technical part. What was your recording experience so far? In what studio did you record last album? Who was in charge of the sound, mixing and mastering your material?
So for the recording of the album Nihilism, it was very much an online sort of back and forth between me and my bandmate Jeffrey Kelly, because we've never lived we barely lived in the same state, let alone the same country for most of the time that we've been working together musically. We met through a mutual friend that he was going to college with about 2 hours away from the town I live in. He's originally from Seattle, which is about 8 hours away from here. And in the last 2 years or so, he's been studying abroad in Europe. So we've only collaborated on music in the same room once. And besides that, basically what we would do is I would write a song on guitar, tab it out, and send that to him. And he would program drums for it, send the programmed drums back to me, which I would direct input just straight from my guitar into my interface, record guitars and bass over, send them back to him, which he would then run through virtual amps and produce, send back to me, and then I would record vocals over that. I'd send that back to him. He would add all of the orchestration, and he did all of the pre-post-production, all the mixing and mastering and everything himself.
Tell us, what response did you meet to your music during local shows?
As we are a studio project, we have never played a live show, although I am in the works of getting a live lineup together here in my my town of Kalispell. But if I was to compare it to when I was playing in a live black metal band for a couple of years, I was in this band Fortress, and I was doing bass and backing vocals. And our reception was oddly enough fairly positive. I feel like the music scene here is growing a lot to the point where we kind of accept everybody. There's a space for every kind of music. All of my friends were very supportive. They always came out to the shows. It was always a good time. That band is no longer together or playing. We had a full-length album planned to record, but we were unable to do so for various reasons that I won't get into. But yes, Dead Live lineup is in the works, and you will be seeing that hopefully within this year.
What about the plans for future? New production is upcoming. What are your goals, and what do you want to achieve as a project or band, maybe? Perhaps a promotional tour?
In terms of plans for the future for Dead, I am in the process of writing album 2, as of yet untitled. I've got about 3 or 4 songs in the pre-production stage, a handful of lyrics that I haven't quite pieced together yet. But the second album is going to be similar in some ways to Nihilism, very different in a lot of other ways. I'm trying to branch out my stylistic influences a bit more, drawing a bit more from the death metal side of things, from the doom metal side. There's going to be a little bit of folk in there, a little bit of even, dare I say, deathcore. I'm trying to incorporate all of my musical influences into one album in a way that doesn't seem cluttered or clashing, and is expanding my musical horizons and my playing ability. And of course, as I mentioned in my answer to the last question, the live lineup is in the works and will hopefully be solidified by the end of this year.
Please let know our audience where can they find more information about your band or contact you.
So you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/dead666band, or you can stream our albums on all major music platforms. We just pressed physical copies of Nihilism for the first time since its release in March, which are available on our web store, which you can find a link to in our Facebook page.
Any final words for our audience?
I'd just like to thank the host for having us on and including all of the bands on Morning Light Records. It's fantastic that we're getting the attention that we are, just being a small two-piece studio project that's been kind of scattered since its beginnings, but is finally sort of solidifying into something concrete and solid. And I'd just like to thank anyone who has given the album a listen, who's shared it with their friends, who's dropped a like on our Facebook page. You're all wonderful, and you will definitely be hearing from us very soon. Thank you so much.